There we are. Okay, smile. All right, let me start the music. Here we go. Hold on. Let me get all
in the
my...
world.
Oh, no.
But it's also true that thoughts feel like power, at least some thoughts, even to modern Western secular
What am
folks.
I getting noise
When we
from?
curse
Do
at
you hear
somebody
this?
who's not present, it feels like an action, even if we think
I
of
don't know where
ourselves as letting
I don't
ourselves
know where that audio is coming
dream. Dreams. Sometimes they feel really powerful, and they feel as if they contain information.
I don't know what that
somehow
background
comes
is,
from
but it's
outside.
cool. It's
We
really
talk about
cool.
a poem coming to a poet, as if the poet has to kind of capture the poem and write it down before the poem goes away. When somebody is in pain, even modern Western
Bop,
secular
bop,
folks
bop,
will say
bop,
that
bop.
they hold them in
Okay,
their
let me
thoughts,
stop the
as
sharing
if
of the
that
music
does
here.
something.
This is
So
Bonnie
even
D, and
secular
this is
folks
Sherry
have
M, and for
intuitions that
some...
thoughts cross
There we
the
go.
mind.
For some reason, I have audio coming in through my computer. That was
I have to know what that was.
I do too. I don't know where it is. It's not through my Apple Play, Sherry. I don't know what it was. Isn't
That
that
was
funny?
so interesting.
Wasn't it though? I'm closing tabs everywhere and I'm wondering what in the world. Here we are, we're live streaming. This is Bonnie D and Sherry M. And so you want to be knowing what's coming into your computer. There's audio from somewhere here and I have no idea where it was coming from, but we will find it. It's going to play again at the
Coming down to bless us.
Sounded like a webinar,
It
something. It was
sounded
beautiful
like
voice.
some kind of meditation. It was very nice.
Didn't it? It was lovely. Well, sometimes these mistakes happen. So here we are. And let me read my opening. You know us well. At least our two voices. I don't know whose that was. Oh, well, it's a joke of the day. Bonnie D and Sherry M too. Seasoned in tech. We love what we do. From LinkedIn's halls to social's embrace. Show and embrace, Sherry. Hug, hug, hug. We share insights in our savvy people space. That's what our space is. Now here on We Dish, we're here to play lighting up and lightening up life in a uniquely fresh way. Chatting about culture, wacky news we adore. I've got some good ones today. Music, food, laughter, and oh, so much more. No politics here. Perish the thought. Just joy and delight. Join us live or on demand day or night. We'll be sleeping, but you know what on demand is. Meet us for real in our live streaming glow. Sherry, let's see the glow. Come on, let's see the glow. Here we go. Comments are welcome and questions. Just be nice. You know who you are. You know. Bonnie D and Sherry M, your two saucy dames, and Sherry is my original saucy dame. Together we dish on life's happy and interesting games. How are you, Sherry?
Great, Bonnie. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I just want to know who that woman's voice was. And it hasn't happened.
Wrap this up so we can figure out what that was.
You know what? I could just put this.
As short versions of those questions. We gave a bunch of surveys.
She's still talking. She's coming from somewhere on my computer. I have no idea what. I don't see any tabs open. I don't see anything coming. Yeah, I must be keyed into something. Anyway, Sherry, how have you been? Why don't you give your little brief bio so people remember who you are, and then I'll do mine, and then we've got a whole bunch of topics. So you go first. Go.
Know who I am. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Come on, make something up.
I am an HR tech leader globally. And by the way, I'll be going to Lisbon to Success Factors Success Connect event at the end of the month. So I'm real excited about that. And a communicator. Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
There's the confetti. There's your confetti. Go ahead.
I like to write very much, but I also like to create, and I like to create stories for corporations, small corporations who are going through change. And that's what I've been doing the past few years, working in the technology space on the communication side.
Very cool. And you're an HR specialist too, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. I have a poem for you about HR in a few minutes. I will read.
Okay, awesome.
I'm a poet. I'm a live radio and podcast. I don't like the word podcast. Everything I do is live. Creator, producer, host. I'm a storyteller. I'm a playwright. I'm an artist, acrylics and watercolors and collages and all kinds of stuff. I'm a drummer, Red Boots drummer. I'm a poet, a prompt poet on the Writer's Digest Wednesday group. And starting in November, Sherry, it'll be a PAD challenge poem a day. And I usually do 3 to 5 poems every single day for the month of November and then again in April. But the rest of the year, it's 1 a week on Wednesdays. And I'll read you 2
Remember
poems
to
today.
think through that with you in April. So this will be
absolutely. It's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm the creator of the 3-minute soundbite Thought Leadership Roundtable. I'm an early woman in tech. Yes. I'm a former stand-up. Just trying to be funny sitting down now. There you go. You want me to read the HR poem right now, Sherry? Would that be appropriate?
do that.
So the prompt was last week, write a resourceful poem. Just use the word resourceful, anything it means, anything it sounds like. So here was mine. I think you'll appreciate this. And I added a couple lines. I sent it to you a week ago, but I added some today.
Oh,
HR was long ago easy to define. People were resources. Okay, well and fine. Then they were assets, counted like chairs, sounded less human, just numbers of wares. Then HCM made its debut one day. Human capital management, they'd say. Sounded so harsh, but it stuck for a while. Ah, the changing hues of corporate style. Talent management was in the new kid on the block, but people operations soon kept us on the clock. Employee experience and employee success soon arose. HR keeping us on our tippy toes. Next, AI algorithms climbed on board. Our job applications were humanless scored. Could a robot soon be your CEO? As comic Jackie Gleason said, and away we go. So, people, how do you want to be led? Just think it over when you get out of bed. What'd you think, Sherry?
that's awesome. Anyone who's worked in the HR space can totally relate to that.
I think I'm going to put that on LinkedIn. Do you think I'll get booed off?
Oh,
We're not supposed to be having fun. Hello, LinkedIn. We're having fun.
my
Just deal with it.
the other day,
So,
and he had
yeah.
a comment. He had an opinion about something, and he said, why do people do that, or why do they say that stuff? And I said, that's what art is. It's to create an emotion. Oh, I know. He said, why were people crying at that movie? And I said, but that's what any art is. It's to elicit an emotion, right? Some kind of, so you will elicit emotions. I'm not sure what kind.
I haven't put any poems on LinkedIn yet. I think I'll do it after we're done today. Thank you. Thank you I have one more for you later. Okay, we have a bunch of topics today. So, first topic, coffee or tea?
Oh
Sherry,
my,
brewed or instant, quantity, quality, cup or mug or thermos. What do you drink?
definitely coffee. I mean, I do like tea sometimes, but I'm definitely more of a coffee person. When I was little, my grandmother used to watch us, and before she left, my parents would leave the house. They would say, and don't give the kids coffee. And as soon as they walked out the door, she would brew some coffee in the percolator, the old percolator, fill it with cream and sugar in my cup, and give us Vienna bread to dip into it. Oh, it's the best.
Oh my, homemade banana bread?
Vienna bread, Vienna bread.
What's Vienna bread?
It's more of it's like kind of a rye bread texture.
Ooh, ooh. I had a bunch of overripe bananas recently left over, and I made banana bread, and then I had some fresh blueberries left over. I don't know if I told you this, and I added the blueberries at
I
the
keep meaning
and
to
they
follow up on that.
some
Yeah,
to the bottom, and it was the best banana bread I've ever had. It stayed
I
moist
do
for
that.
a week. It was unbelievable.
Always have that kind of stuff left over. That's a really good idea.
Blueberries,
Wonder how
yes,
that would be. Wonder how the blueberries would be like in a zucchini loaf.
fabulous. Zucchini bread, fabulous. I used to make it when I lived in Oregon. Fabulous. I'm going to go buy some zucchinis this weekend. Thank you very much. I'm a
Mm.
tea drinker. I take a peppermint tea bag. I take a mug, all kinds of interesting mugs, fill it with water filtered from the refrigerator, put it in the microwave for about a minute before it gets to boil. Put the tea bag in, as a British guest on one of my shows said, "Oh, the dusty stuff in the little bag." He had a certain temperature, and he had a bone china cup of a certain millimeter thickness, and it was very scientific. So I put that in, and then I cook it for another 30 seconds or so, and then I wait for it to cool. Sometimes I add an ice cube to bring it down to drinking temperature. And before I finish it, I let it come to room temperature completely. And I add water and put it in the fridge. And I'll keep it there for a day or two and use it as iced tea, but no sugar and no lemon. And I'll refill it once or twice and just have it as a cold, lightly peppermint flavored water drink. And then
How
I'll
much of this do you make at a time?
just one mug, and I refill it a couple times. That's it. Interesting. So I'm reusing my tea
I
bag a
do
couple of times.
reuse both my coffee and my tea like that. Put it in the fridge and pour it over ice the next day. And
Ooh, that's good.
especially
Do,
if I bought it from Starbucks, which is, not cheap. So
do you
I,
ever put the coffee? You have coffee grounds. You ever put them in your garden or in your plants? Supposed to be great fertilizer.
it's amazing fertilizer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My plants are growing too well. I'm not going to fertilize them anymore. Next question. Halloween. It's now October 9th. Halloween, yay or nay? Decorations, costume, candy, trick-or-treating, parties, best costume you ever wore. Did you make it or buy it? Any
I'm
of
not
all
good
of
at
the
the
above.
costume things, but definitely Halloween. Love Halloween. Love the whole fall season, everything that goes with it. loved trick or treat. When I was little, I used to go tic-tacking. It was a whole thing. The only really good costume I think that I ever had, my favorite one was being I was a deck of cards. We were going on a hayride, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to be in this hayride in the cold with, a wool big warm coat on and still have a costume. And so I did a card, a king card.
Not
And
a
then
queen. Not a queen card, a king card, or not a joker card either. A king.
the queen's always second best.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I remember throwing Halloween parties in my parents' basement when I was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, and we decorated with crepe paper and lanterns and little safe lanterns. And I think I was a swami or a fortune teller with a scarf around my head and a big skirt and all that good stuff. Okay, that's it for where I live in Durham, North Carolina, and now in Tennessee. We don't have kids in the neighborhood, so if you buy candy, it's up to you to eat it yourself.
That's sad. We have a
Well,
lot.
yeah, but in this day and age, there's so much going on. I don't think I'd want strangers knocking on my door. So I think I'm okay. It's too far to get here from everywhere. Okay, seasons. Your favorite seasons in what order? You got 4 of them. Order them. Your least favorite up to the top. What's your least favorite season,
I think I
Sherry?
like spring the best, primarily because it comes after, a lot of mud
Okay.
here in the East, a lot of mud and frozen ground and yeah. And then it's just kind of an order from there. Summer, fall, winter. I love all the seasons. I like the change in the seasons.
If you could have one season all year, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know if I would like that.
I know, but if you had to pick, what would it be?
Maybe spring. Spring,
Hmm.
late spring.
Mine would be a toss up between spring and winter. I love the cold. I love the adventure. I like snow, except we had a snow that was such a blanket this winter. I actually got claustrophobic looking out. I could hardly see anything. The big lawn in front covered. The streets were covered. The house across the street was covered. Couldn't see a damn thing. And I thought, oh my
Realize you've
God,
got
okay.
snow where you are in Tennessee.
We got snow last winter. We
You
did.
got more than we did.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was one really big one. But I like spring as well. Summer too oppressive for me. Fall, the colors are pretty, but spring when the trees come alive again and my hibiscus plants come out of the ground and I'm amazed at the beauty of nature arising from the soil. And I had some plants, some succulents in the garage. I think my daughter had given me some cactus-like plants about a year ago when I first moved in. I've been here 2 years now, and they were in the garage. I didn't cover them. I didn't water them. I didn't do anything all winter. I took them out and put them on the front porch. They just grew and grew and grew. They survived, and that to me, that's
They're
a
surviving.
compelling, yeah, like me, a survivor. Yeah, just grew and grew and grew. We'll leave that one alone. Next, okay, movies. What is your genre? And also TV. What's your favorite genre you like? Drama. Let me give you a choice: drama, fantasy, musical, romance, mystery, comedy, sci-fi, thriller, war.
I have to pick only one.
No, pick a couple.
I kind of am more the mystery sci-fi thriller type person. I think I like comedy too, though. But when I'm watching something on television, I really need to be engrossed in it. I like the challenge of trying to solve the problem. Yeah. Otherwise, I could be distracted easily.
I'm the same way, and that's why I like French and Italian and once in a while Swedish or German or Dutch detective shows because I love the characters and I have to stay engaged with the screen because my French is rusty and I don't know the other languages, so I have to watch. And if I fall asleep, I remember what I read last, and I just go back a little bit. That's why I love on demand. I'm watching Murder In, which is a different in 90 minutes, and it's a different detective show. And there's usually a backstory, either a husband and wife who've been divorced for 10 years, or two sisters who haven't seen each other, or two people who were on the police force together, and one got to be captain and the other didn't. There's always a backstory that they don't tell you right away. Very seldom is it romantic, and I love those. So Candice Renoir, Alice Nevers. What's that?
Same characters, like same detective every week or something.
No, no. Murder In is a different set of detectives, actors, but I know most of the French actors who star in these because I've been watching them for years in different shows. I'm watching one called Master Crimes, a woman who must be in her mid 60s who is blonde, and she'll wink at you, and she is crazy, wild, and she solves crimes. And in Europe, a detective, these female detectives are called la juge, and they are called investigating judges. They'll come to a crime scene, just like the cops, come to a crime scene, but they're the investigating judge, and they sit at their desk and they can give you a sentence too. They're a judge, but they're with boots and raincoats and all kinds of weather, and they're out there at the scene of murders. Very interesting. I started watching that one. There's one called Lolita Labasco, which is Italian. I started that. I caught up on that one. And there's another one I started. Oh, Marianne, Marianne. It
And
is unusual. She is I'll just say let's say she's a round girl. She must be in her 40s. She has naturally curly hair. If you think mine is big, hers is twice as big. And the show starts out, Sherry, with an unusual case at her desk in her office. And they all have a male assistant who takes notes and transcribes everything while the victims or the perpetrators are sitting at her desk. And this is their confidant, their person who works with them. Everybody's got one. It's unbelievable. And it's an unusual case. And then they cut off of that and go to the main murder scene, whatever it is. But there's a thread from that original case that goes through the whole show, and you have to pay close attention.
like that.
And in this one, she's sitting across from a man and his attorney. And apparently, she had put him in jail a few years before for some minor offense. And he fell in love with her. He has a crush. So he breaks into a grocery store. This is in France somewhere. He breaks into a grocery store and gets on the video, on the security camera, and he's lip syncing, "I love you, Marianne," something like that. And then he's mooning the camera. He got arrested just to come back to her office to see her. So later in the show, her boss, who's this man, he's the man in charge, he says, "Marianne, come yourself, how are you, all right?" She says, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Oh, breaking somebody's heart is not one of our lists of punishments we give to perpetrators. Are you going to marry this boy?" And I had to go back to the beginning to remember because it was 30 minutes ago. And then she comes up with a scheme, and she says to this man, Samuel, I think, is the one who takes all of the notes in her office. And they come up with a scheme, and they call the young man back with his lawyer. And she says, I'm sorry, but you got here too late. Samuel and I are getting married." And he says, "But if it doesn't work out, would you marry me instead?" They fake this proposal so that he would stop being in love with her. And
Oh, God.
it's part of the show. It's a riot. Anyway, next topic. Thank you for listening to that. Your purse. What 5 things do you never leave home without? And forget about the phone. We know that. So what's in your purse that you absolutely have to have?
I have a very small purse. So, I mean, I would say my wallet, but there's sometimes I don't take my wallet. I just take my debit card and my license. So that's 2 things. And some kind of like chapstick or lipstick is always in there. A fold up comb.
Hmm.
And let me think, tissue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have one of my red lipsticks, and I've got a mask in case I go anywhere and people are coughing, from COVID, but a pretty mask, a deck with a little flower or something on it. I have a checkbook with me in case I go someplace that doesn't take credit card. Here, if you use a credit card in most of the shops where I live in Tennessee, they charge you 3 or 4% extra on top of whatever it is, including at the hair salon. So I always pay by check. You can even put the tip on the check, and they take the cash out of the drawer and give it to your salon person. I always have, let's see, what do I have? I probably have mints, a little round thing, a container with mints and some Pepsid in case I eat something that doesn't agree with me. And what is the 5th thing? Lipstick, checkbook. What else do I have? I don't keep a wallet. I keep a little zipper purse. It's black and white and it's cute. And I keep all my credit cards and licenses and everything in that little zipper purse. So it never would look like somebody would want to. And it's a red purse and it looks like snakeskin, but it's not. And it has red handles and I carry it when I go. So that's, and tissues, of course. There were tissues buried in the bottom. And once in a while I go through it and say, "Oh, that looks all rumpled." I'll throw it out and put a new one in. And that's pretty much it. Once in a while I'll stick the iPad in there, but it overwhelms it. It fills the whole thing up, makes it look very,
Yeah.
very stiff. So,
I
but lipstick, go ahead. Say it again. We didn't get that.
don't like to have anything heavy on me. I just wear one of those Lululemon crossbody kind of fanny pack things. Yeah.
I
And then
like them.
if I really need more, like if I'm going someplace with my computer, I just throw that in my bigger tote bag.
Nice. I
Yeah.
got to learn to carry less. Okay.
Mine's simple.
And what I can't think of what else. I've just got so much. Oh, sometimes I have an extra pair of earrings in case I walk out of the house and feel naked without earrings. I'll have earrings in there. A pair of black dangle earrings, something that goes with anything I'm wearing. And I probably have an eyeliner, a smudge stick in there somewhere, and a plastic fork and a knife and a spoon somewhere. And oh, there's all kinds of stuff. You would just have a blast going through my purse. Okay. Of course, I need it all. Gardening, house plants.
Oh,
Do you garden? Are you successful?
I like the idea of it. I just don't, I'm not really good at follow through and making sure they don't die.
I take seeds out of vegetables, Sherry, and I recently had a yellow pepper and I scraped the seeds and put them in a little bit of dirt with a little water, and they make the prettiest little green flowers that come right
Really?
up out of the dirt. Yes. Every time I have an avocado, I clean the pit and I put it in water and I wait, and I have about five of them and they grow a couple of feet tall. Sometimes they're so with green leaves. Yes, I have last year's poinsettia plant is still very much alive in my kitchen here. I take cuttings when I see a good coleus plant, whether it's the red or the red and green. There are some near stores outdoors. I'll just take a little tiny piece off and I grow them to 2 or 3 feet tall. I have them in my windowsill. My kitchen windowsill is covered with plants. I love starting plants from whatever. New neighbor moved in, a renter, and they just bought a few blocks away. And she went to a local nursery and they were giving away hibiscus trees at the end of, I didn't know you could buy a hibiscus tree in a pot at the end of the season. And she said, "You've been so nice to me, Bonnie." She gave me one, and it looked like kind of sad. So I gave it
Yeah.
a half a gallon of water every day for a couple of days, and before you know it, it started to bud. It's probably bloomed 20 times already. It
Oh,
has so many buds that they're falling off of it before they're blooming. But every day there's an orange hibiscus flower, at least 4 to 6 inches in diameter on my porch, and I water it every morning or every afternoon, depending on the temperature. It's going to have to go in the garage soon because it's getting cool here at night. But I revived the tree, and it has grown probably 6 inches to 10 inches tall since she gave it to me.
good
With
for you.
love. With love. Yeah. And my neighbor across the street has some wild zinnias growing near the curb in her house. Well, I didn't know it, but the seeds blew across the street this year. And I ended up with a garden of probably 250 zinnia blooms in yellow, pink, white, orange, you name it. And some of them are 5 feet tall on the side of my house. And one of them blew into the front, right near the driveway, next to a rose bush. It's a zinnia that's 2 feet tall. And one of them blew into the gravel easement in front of my house near where the street sewer drain is, the irrigation drain. And there's a zinnia growing out of the gravel.
That's crazy.
I didn't do anything. They just appeared. I opened the door one day and here I had a garden full of zinnias. I have no idea. Yep. So I'm planting them. What can I tell you? I'm attracting to green stuff. So you're ready for headlines, Sherry?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okay. Where's from? What do you got?
Well, okay, since I'm a science fiction fan, I really liked this one. King of the Underworld alligators. And it was a sewer myth, but it turns out it's true. Workers found an alligator, and there's a video of it on the news channel that I saw, that shows this big city myth, this big alligator like you would see in a B movie crawling around a New York sewer.
Really?
It's real.
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my first one is scary to some people, but not like that. There's a French fry crisis. Did you know that?
No.
There is. I'm sorry. It's a fast food French fry crisis. I can say that fast and not tumble over it. America's top supplier of French fries says it's cutting jobs because of lower demand for the popular side item, and more restaurants are offering value deals, including McDonald's, which now includes a small fries with the value meal, because people are not going to fast food restaurants as much. So they're trying to attract them, but they're ordering small. 80% of fries consumed in the US come from fast food chains. And the name of the company that's the largest producer in North America of French fries is Lamb, Lamb, Weston, Wston, major supplier to fast food chains, restaurants, grocery stores. They're closing a plant in Washington State, laying off almost 400 employees, 4% of its workforce, because their shares dropped 35%, their stock shares this year because of that. Fast food chains like McDonald's offer value menus to lure customers back. They launched the $5 meal, which included a small French fries. And McDonald's was 13% of Weston sales. And they say, as McDonald's go, so does Lamb Weston go. I'm sorry to tell you that. You can still get them, but it might be harder to get. That's sad.
Disappointed also that all the different fries that we get are from one place.
Yep. Most
I
of them.
love fries, but once they cool off, then they're no good anymore.
I know. What's your second headline?
There voting started Wednesday.
Oh,
That Bear Week contest. Did you ever hear of that?
no, tell me.
It's in Alaska, at this national park and preserve. Viewers pick their favorite among a dozen of brown bears that are fattening themselves up for the winter.
I did read that. Yes. How big are the bears?
I don't know, but it says that this was interesting to me. They gorge on sockeye salmon, which I guess it's Alaska, so it makes sense, right? But I never saw bears eating salmon. And there's like 2,200 bears. It's in this contest is in its 10th year. But it was delayed this year because one of the bears died. They had to hold it for one, and it was a female bear.
Oh,
402. I don't know how they track them. Bear 402 was killed by a male bear during a fight on Monday, so they had to delay it by one day.
Domestic violence.
I know.
It's terrible. The reason you haven't seen them eating to get big is because they didn't invite you to dinner. You're barely off the guest list, Sherry. Absolutely terrible. I think I have an animal story in here somewhere, but first there is, I want to show this. Okay, let me show it to you. Let me get rid of this audio chat here, and let me go into share my screen and screen one. Okay, we'll take a chance on this. Here we go. You see this picture?
Yeah.
Okay. This was an art installation at a museum, the LAM Museum in Lies, which is 19 miles away from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. A worker in the Netherlands threw away a piece of artwork that was made to look like two empty beer cans. They were then pulled out of the trash, cleaned, and put back on the display. All the Good Times We Spent Together by the French artist Alexandre Lavet, Lavet, may look like it belongs in the trash, but it's a meticulously hand-painted with acrylics, with each detail painstakingly replicated. The cans symbolize cherished memories shared with dear friends. Evenings spent enjoying drinks may seem trivial in the grand scheme of things. They ultimately embodied precious moments of connection. The worker, who was a temporary, could be forgiven since the cans were in a glass lift shaft. I don't know what that shaft, as though left behind by other workers. The museum delights in placing, their trademark is unconventional locations. The collection is food and consumption. What do you think of that? Unbelievable. And in the Art Basel, I know. And here's another one. In Art Basel in Miami, there was a banana taped to a wall. That was an art piece, and somebody took it off and ate it. And that went for $120,000 in 2019.
That's an expensive banana.
I know. I have to be careful next time I make banana bread.
Yeah.
What's your third?
In Denmark, a man was suspected of 86 counts of reckless driving. 86 counts. 86 counts. So I had to read this. He was driving high speed on a motorcycle and doing like wheelies and stuff like that. And you know how they figured out it was 86 counts?
Mm-mm.
He was filming himself. He had like a camera on his helmet or something. And so they were able to watch the video afterwards, and they could see every single thing he did. But then it said, what did it say? It said, in Denmark, reckless driving includes driving more than 100% above the speed limit. More than 100% above the speed limit. I go 5 miles over the speed limit in some areas here and there on my back.
Yeah, 100%. And what would you have to, so at a 20, he's doing 40. In a 40, he's doing 80. Once you
He
get to
was
50,
driving at a speed of 200 kilometers per hour, 124 miles per hour.
so he was in a 60
With
to
a blood
65 mile
alcohol
an hour.
level above 2.
Oh, geez. Oh, scary. Wow.
The investigators watched like several hours of footage to put this case together.
Was it a GoPro?
Probably. It didn't say, but
Ah.
I imagine it was like a GoPro.
Must
Yeah.
have been a GoPro. Well, I have another animal story to go with. Let me share again. An animal story to go with yours. Let
With
me
this.
share here.
I
This
would
is the New York. Can you see the Sherry? The New York Liberties. Let me make this bigger. The New York Liberties. There we go. Mascot Ellie the elephant. You see her back here in the background with her hand up? Dazzling audiences in Brooklyn and beyond with her impeccable dance moves and larger than life persona. Cameras are rolling to capture the arrival of one of the city's most celebrated athletes. Black and white printed Nike jacket, black leather shorts, and silver bamboo hoops. She struts through Brooklyn's Barclays Center on her tunnel walk, the basketball world's equivalent of the red carpet. And there she is. Isn't that something?
She's adorable.
She
That's
uses her umbrella like a prop, pointing it at the camera like a hot accessory. Here's another one. She's showing off her style. Here she is. Okay, I'll show you a couple more pictures. Here's another one. Fans have her on their, there's a season ticket holder, has got a replica of her on her. Is that something? And here she is, her braid. She's whipping her signature braid to the delight of the crowd. This is the Liberties. Yes, I think. And there's one more here. Look, Ellie. Capitalizing on the enthusiasm. Look at this. Look at the novelties. They're selling banners to make look like Ellie. Is that unbelievable? And here they're dancing with Ellie, keeping fans glued to their seats at halftime. She wears sneakers and rocks hoop earrings on her floppy elephant ears. She
Listen.
carries, yeah.
Listen, where I am, Bethlehem Steel was very big around here. So, pig iron, right? Pig iron.
Yep.
We have a baseball team, a minor league baseball team called the Iron Pigs. And
Oh,
the
dear.
is pig. And then they also have characters that come out dressed up like bacon and pork and ham.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But whatever, and this stuff sells.
I know. You know what they say sells, but sometimes the funky stuff sells. And the world's in such chaos right now. Why not have a funky dancing elephant and wearing earrings and carrying a handbag and shoes and sneakers? And why not? And why not have beer can art, right? And why not have elephant contests? I mean, sorry, big bear contests. Why not?
Well, Bonnie, we have to talk again soon.
I think we will. Let's see if I can. Let me put on my
image of the limb.
Whatever it is, it's still going. I have no idea where that audio is coming from. I don't know. Let me
text me later and tell me what it was.
So you know what? I'm going to play this very low, and let's put this on and let's see if I can get my music started here to go out. I'm going to start the music right now, and whatever it is,
the relation between mind and brain. There are many other ways minds are extended, including the ways that Tanya told us about.
I'm loving the
through
accent.
These experiences of other forms
Bonnie
of
and
consciousness.
Sherry, it's been a
but those,
riot.
I think, are subjects I hope we'll discuss.
There we go. Thank you to her, Serge Hoffman, for my
but
song.
For now, I just want to end by saying.
So you want to be?
I think when we.
I think we're just
going to
go
the
down.
Extended mind,
It's
instead of
coming
just
right out
arbitrary
of my keyboard. Sherry Meyer, it's lovely. Let me stop it. Bye, social.